to our special broadcast on NAN, National Accomplishments News, that is all about the famed First Lady, Eleanor Roosevelt. My name is Ella Caleri, and these are my co-anchors, Stephanie Posidel and Nina Zangi, and we will tell you all about her leadership and legacy.
That's right. My name is Nina Zangi, and we will take you through the wonderful journey of Eleanor Roosevelt's accomplishments,
including an authentic photo collage of Eleanor Roosevelt's actions, all on NAN Tonight, with me, Stephanie Posidel, and my co-anchors walking you through her life's journey.
So let's begin. We will start off with her outstanding leadership and end with the legacy that she has left behind.
Yes. One of the most important events that Eleanor Roosevelt led was the first women's-only press conference.
Eleanor Roosevelt saw the discrimination against women all over politics, and in daily life, she decided to do something about it.
Eleanor Roosevelt invited many women to participate in a women's-only press conference. This happened because her husband, President Franklin D. Roosevelt, refused to have female reporters in his press conferences, and so she went against his wishes. She did this by holding the first ever women-only press conference on only her second day as First Lady.
Wow, isn't that amazing?
It truly is. Eleanor Roosevelt also held this first ever women-only press conference to help her friend, who could not find work as a reporter.
This wasn't all she did for women's rights. Even before she was the First Lady of the United States, she believed that women weren't given the same opportunities that they deserved.
She helped this cause when she began teaching at a school for girls. She helped young girls think for themselves and become aware of problems facing others. These tools helped lead them to more opportunities in the future.
Eleanor Roosevelt didn't just help the advancement of women's rights. She also helped lead the advancement of African American rights.
That's right. One outstanding example of her participation in African American rights was the controversy over the opera singer Marian Anderson.
Marian Anderson was an opera singer that was one of the most celebrated opera singers of the 20th century. A critic called her voice a rich, vibrant contralto of interesting music, but there came a time, around 1939, when her singing was forbidden to be heard.
Marian Anderson wished to sing at the Constitution Hall, which was owned by the Daughters of American Revolution, which Eleanor Roosevelt was a part of. For Marian Anderson hoped that the hall would lift its restrictive policy of not having African American performers, but this was sadly denied.
Roosevelt took a stand against this injustice. When Anderson was forbidden to sing at this hall that the Daughters of American Revolution owned, she sent in her resignation letter.
Eleanor Roosevelt explained in this letter that she could not be part of an organization that would not let Marian Anderson and other African Americans perform. She explained this reasoning in the February 27, 1939 issue of her My Day column that Ella will now read.
February 27th, 1939. My Day. Eleanor Roosevelt. Washington, D.C., Sunday. I have been debating in my mind for some time a question which I have had to debate with myself once or twice before in my life. Usually, I have decided differently from the way in which I am deciding now. The question is, if you belong to an organization and disapprove of an action which is typical of a policy, should you resign, or is it better to work for a changed point of view within the organization? In the past, when I was able to work actively in any organization to which I belonged, I've usually stayed in until I at least made a fight and had been defeated. Even then, I have, as a rule, accepted my defeat and decided I was wrong, or perhaps a little too far ahead of the thinking of the majority at that time. I've often found that in the thing in which I was interested was done some years later. But in this case, I belong to an organization in which I can do no active work. They have taken an action, which has been widely talked of in the press. To remain as a member implies approval of that action, and therefore, I am resigning. E.R.
Then, on April 9th, Roosevelt had Anderson give a concert on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. Nearly 75,000 people of all races and ethnicities showed up, and thousands more listened on the radio. This performance brought attention to the country's color barrier in a big way.
Eleanor Roosevelt believed that everyone should have equal rights. This philosophy led to her helping in the drafting of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, or UDHR. After World War II, the international community decided to never allow things like that to happen again. 18 people of different races, cultures, and beliefs joined together to form the draft committee of the UDHR.
Roosevelt was the chairman of this project. She referred to it as the International Magna Carta of all mankind. The group worked together to outline the basic rights of all humans. It took them less than 2 years to accomplish this, and on December 10, 1948, it was adopted by the United Nations.
Eleanor Roosevelt played such an important role in achieving rights for everyone. Without her leadership skills and her ability to take charge, we may not have as many rights as we do today.
Eleanor Roosevelt has certainly left a positive impact on many people's lives, and she has left behind a legacy that no one will ever forget. To wrap up this segment of our show, we will discuss the legacy that Eleanor Roosevelt has left behind.
Eleanor Roosevelt was one of the most active First Ladies ever to take office. Eleanor began carving out a role as a new kind of First Lady, a role that would satisfy her own need to be independent and active in public and political life.
Eleanor Roosevelt's legacy was being an amazing and active First Lady and bringing America out of the Depression.
Roosevelt did this by asking America to write her letters about how they were doing and what was going on in their life. Using these letters, Roosevelt learned about what was actually going on in other people's lives. This knowledge helped her and her husband create the New Deal.
The New Deal gave the poor and unemployed relief. It recovered the economic levels, and it fixed the political system so that another depression could be prevented.
Okay, so First Ladies today use Eleanor Roosevelt's example, set by her legacy, to be active and help the country.
I think we could all learn a little from Eleanor Roosevelt. So today, go out and do something productive in your community.
That about wraps up this week's segment. Thank you for watching and listening, and tune in next week for more NAN.